want to do something better, this life is for you. So what I'm going to be talking about today is how you have the power to build your own business. You have the power to do exactly what it is you want to do. But the question is, do you know that? Do you know how much power you have? And do you intend to leverage that power? Because a lot of people are sitting around right now and they don't understand there's huge opportunity in turning data into profits. What do I mean by turning data into profits? I mean that there's all these data points right here that people don't understand, but I want you to know that number one, you have the power to build your own business. I know you're tired of people lying to you, people telling you that you're not what you're supposed to do, but I want you to know that it's a big lie. When you come to this live, do me a quick favor, smash the like button, share the live, and so other people can understand how this data points that are all over the place is something that you can tap into. What do I mean by you can tap into it? For example, 64% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Folks, that is a huge calamity. I'm talking over 50% of the workforce live paycheck to paycheck. They don't even know how to manage their resources. So, for example, this week is not even over with, and this month is almost over with, and because the month is falls on what you call it, the new month falls possibly on a weekend. A lot of people are going to be having problems. First, they got to try to pay their bill, and they don't know if the bills are going to get paid because they've been waiting on these bills because they get paid once a month, things like that. And a lot of people are going through this stuff. You do the same thing where you say, you know what, I'm sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Well, what's going to give, though, before you can say, you know what, I think I know what I got to do, right? What I got to do to change my current situation, what I got to do to make sure that I'm not one of those folks that's like basically going to be in trouble, okay? Gonna be in trouble with the things that's happening right now. A lot of people are saying, you gotta have some kind of a financial reserve. But the thing is, like, people say, oh, you need to save six. What's the ratio? 6 months worth of emergency funds. 6 months worth. Like, is that easy? How can somebody save 6 months worth of emergency fund when they live paycheck to paycheck? Okay, tell me if that makes any sense. Make it make sense. Hashtag make it make sense. Save 6 months worth of emergency funds, but your ass lives paycheck to paycheck. How's that gonna happen? That's why I'm basically sharing this opportunity and this live to let you know that, hey, it's okay. You may be part of the 64% of Americans that live paycheck to paycheck. Even worse is, say you start a business right now and you have a low FICO score. You know what that means? It's credit score. Hashtag spread positivity. Amen. Thank you. Have you ever made it with a shut the fuck up? Hey, Tony, you're about to get blocked. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and block your ass. Okay? I'm going to remove your ass. Yep. Bye. All right. This is strictly hashtag positivity. This got nothing to do with your preference. Okay, you can do what you want to do, but that's not what I'm talking about. So don't come asking stupid questions on my damn live, you little dumbass. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna block your ass for put you on freeze for 24 hours. Would you like that? So you better apologize and come back here and start talking about the fact that you probably need money. You probably are one of the 64% of Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck. And if that's the case, how are you going to get out of that? That's what I need you to be talking about, not talking about some other thing that don't make any sense, okay? All right, Blade 2025, hashtag spread positivity. I like that hashtag. I also want you to talk about hashtag make it make sense. Make it make sense. If you know right now that you are one of the few people that are actually struggling and you're part of the 64% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, heck, people are hustling right now. They're hustling hard. You know why they're hustling hard? Because if you look at what's happening right now, they probably don't have the money, to do what they're supposed to do, right? They don't have the money, and yet they got to pay all these bills, and these bills are piling up. These bills don't stop. The bills don't stop, the bills don't stop. You know how that goes. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So even though you have all these bills, you still got to pay them. Somehow you got to pay these bills, right? They're not running away. But I tell you what's running away. People that don't want to level up with themselves. People that are saying, oh yeah, everything is good when it's not good. They're staring calamity right in front of them and they're sitting around acting like everything is good. Them kind of people I don't understand. I don't understand why you would be in a situation where you know things are bad, but you're pretending like they're not bad. Okay? To me, that's almost like something is wrong with your head. You need to go get yourself checked, right? But in any case, I want to make sure that even if you're one of the 64% of Americans that live paycheck to paycheck, that you understand exactly what you need to be doing to level up with yourself. You understand that right now is probably the best time that you can start a business. Why do I say that? The One Big Beautiful Act and also the Genius Act that just got passed gives a lot of incentives to people that want to start businesses. Okay, so you can go start a business and you can depreciate right off the expenses for the equipment. Okay, I think that's awesome. Or for that matter, you can start figuring out what tokenization is, because again, when you learn how to tokenize yourself, you can then tap into the Genius Act, basically stable coins. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but stable coins is basically a way to digitize currency. Okay, the biggest one that people are talking about right now, and I'm going to give you this just so you know that the data points that I'm talking about are actually happening. The biggest stable coin that people are talking about right now, people are going to be using to make payments, is called XRP. XRP. So tap yes in the chat below if you want me to send you more information about the cryptocurrencies and stuff. Okay? Because I've been learning about cryptocurrencies for the past 7 years, and I've been tapping into it, trying to learn exactly how I can better myself. In fact, I did tokenize myself through the music industry, where I created my own coin. And I think I may be able to leave the description to the initial coin offering that I did way back when. But now that you have the Genius Act, I think it's going to make it a lot easier for people to level up with themselves and tap into this reality that I'm talking about. Okay, they're going to be able to tap into it, and when they tap into it, it's going to make it so awesome for them to start building businesses for themselves, for them to start adding value for themselves. I haven't even started talking about the value bombs yet. Don't let me start talking about the value bombs. As a matter of fact, if you're on this live right now and you're ready to level up with me, I need you to type me in the chat. Let's go. Type me in the chat right now, because I see a lot of people hanging out and they ain't doing anything. They ain't doing nothing because they're thinking for a second that they can only live from paycheck to paycheck, and that's all they have in their lives. They don't understand that they could be business owners. They don't understand that they could rule their own destiny. You have the power right now to start your own business. Don't let nobody tell you that you are meant to be a worker for the rest of your life. You're going to work till you're 90 years old, like that senator that's like 91 years old. Does he know when to retire? What in the hell? Okay, you can actually do stuff for yourself. Okay, you can enjoy yourself. You can take vacations for yourself. Okay, don't let nobody tell you that you are meant to be or work to be the rest of your life on this planet. I really don't think that's what human beings were meant to do. Slave and work. Even when people are looking to relax and leave a job, people want to keep them on this stupid ass job that don't do nothing for them. Okay, so let me tell you something, folks. Let me tell you something. In 2025, you probably have the most opportunity to break free from the corporate bullshit. I'm not just saying that because I like saying I'm breaking free from the corporate bullshit myself. Okay, and I'm leveling up, and I founded the Fork Reskilling HQ to help other people do exactly what I've been doing. If you're interested in learning the exact steps that I'm going to use to help you turn data into profits, type me in this chat right now. Level up with yourself. You know you need somebody like me to motivate the shit out of you so you can get up and start doing something for yourself, because you have the power. You just don't have the person that can motivate you like I'm doing right now. You know it, and you know it's true. Don't lie to yourself, because I'm telling you, the more you lie to yourself, the more you're going to realize that it's not going to get you anywhere. The more you look at yourself in the mirror and start lying to yourself, the more you're going to know that it's not going to get you anywhere. And let me tell you something. A lot of people have been lying to themselves all these years. So the time for accountability is here right now, folks. The time for accountability is here. And I can't promise you that you are not going to be held accountable for bullshitting all these years. For literally bullshitting all these years. and you've bullshitted your way to nothingness. You hear what I said? You've bullshitted your way to nothingness. And I'm telling you right now, now's the time to start thinking about what you can do for yourself, do for your community, do for goat that's walking around. You know you're a goat. And when I say goat, I literally mean the one that goes, meh, meh. I know you see that commercial where the goats are going, meh, 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 meh. Are you one of those goats? I don't know. Because you're acting like you're goat, okay? But you can be another kind of goat. The kind of goat that says, you know, I'm going to be the greatest of all time. The kind of goat that says, you know what? I know things are not working right, so I'm going to try to do the best I can to do the best, to be the best person. Okay, that kind of goat. Because there's a whole slew of goats everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's a goat. Everywhere you look, there's somebody that's trying to level up. Everywhere you look, there's somebody that's thinking that they're all that. Okay, and a bag of chips. And that's the kind of shit I hate looking at. People that walk around and think they're all that, they're full of shit. Okay? I can't stand them. They think they're goats, but they're not goats. They're actually chickens. They're chickens and they're little birds, okay, that don't know shit. So if that's you, just level up with yourself. Say, you know what, I don't know shit. I've been faking the funk all along, but ain't nothing wrong with fake it until you make it. I know a lot of people say that. Fake it until you make it. Well, you can fake it until you make it all you want, but at the end of the day, are you really faking it? Who are you faking it for? You know, that's the question I want you to ask yourself. You're faking it, but you don't know who to fake it for. You don't know who to fake it for, and that's a problem. When people are talking shit and they don't know who to fake it, they think they're faking it, but they're not faking it. They're faking themselves because they know they're full of shit. Is that you? I don't want you to be full of shit, but I want you to understand exactly what I'm talking about. Because at some point, so you need to have somebody hold you accountable, and they're gonna hold you accountable because you know you don't know what the hell you're doing. Okay? So right now, I've given you 2 data points. What I need you to do right now is figure out exactly if you're part of the 64% of Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck. And if you're one of those people, what do you have to do to change it? Despite the data points that I'm giving you, do you know exactly the steps that you need to take to change a particular situation? If you do, how are you going to do it? If you don't, do you know where to get help to do it? And that's why I'm doing this live right now, because let me tell you, I've been dropping value bombs and helping people achieve their goals, but some of these people don't want to achieve their goals. So that's a problem. When you see people just banging their head against the wall and somebody's trying to give them relief and they're sitting around saying, no, I don't want no relief. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just sit around and help them, not help themselves. You know, that's the problem I'm trying to like address right now, because a lot of people are full of shit. You may be one of them folks that are full of shit, but let me tell you something. At some point, you're going to come to a reality check, okay? And the reality check that you're going to come to is when you realize that you've been bullshitting yourself all this time. You've been bullshitting yourself, and you haven't been holding yourself accountable because you say, well, you know, I'm going to blame somebody else for my problem. You're not, no, I'm not. Why would I be doing that? Debo's 15? No, I wouldn't be doing something like that. I'm real. If I'm not real, why the hell are you on my damn channel? Okay? So go ahead and get your ass out of this channel, okay? If you think I'm not real. All right. But anyway, you need to be watching for people like that do the things you're talking about. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and delete your comment because I don't like foolish people like you. Okay, bye. Okay, so I've already talked about accountability. I've already talked about how some people are not leveling up with themselves. I've already talked about why now is the best time for you to start a business, because the Genius Act just got promulgated. You know what promulgation is? That means it became law. You little dumbass. It became law. So if something is law and it has incentives, why in the hell are you sitting around and not helping? Why in the hell are you sitting around and complaining? Why in the hell are you thinking it's somebody else's fault that you're not rich? Okay? Because you had 400 plus years to be rich, motherfucker, and you didn't do shit about it. Okay? Now, you see people that you freaking enslaved are rich, and your ass is sitting around and saying, how the fuck do they have more degrees? How the fuck do they have more cars? How in the hell do they... Why in the hell